A pinch of story, a spoon of exaggeration, and a whole lot of fun.
Hey guys, it's Jeff Brown over at the house, and I wanted to tell you a story today about the time I went camping with my dog and my wife. And this was middle of summer. We were camping. This is years ago, and we went camping middle of summer. Like I said, it was going to be 100 degrees plus that weekend. I mean, we had planned it ahead, but then all of a sudden, 100-degree weekend, boom, now we're going. So we head out, and this isn't fancy camping with an RV. This is back in the day. All we had was a tent and some dirt, and we were out there doing it. So we get out there, and the first day, Saturday, it's probably 80 degrees, I swear, by 9 a.m. or something, So as the morning wears on, we get something to eat, and we decide the best course of action is to take our little dog and go down to the lake where the swimming's at. So we pack the cooler in the car and drive on down there, and they got this nice little swimming hole area on the side of the lake. And you got to understand something about this dog we got. His name's Spike, and he is the cutest little thing you ever seen. He's like a miniature pinscher Pekingese mix. And he's a cute little dog. We never had kids, so he's just the love of our life. It was our first dog. We just loved the heck out of him. And but he didn't like to swim. For whatever reason. He could swim, and he had swam, but he just didn't like to swim. So my wife and I are down there, we're in the lake, and we're swimming, and he's kind of on the shore running around a little bit. I'm trying to coax him in to swim with us, because I know if he comes out, he's going to be cooler, he's going to like it, but he just won't do it. So at some point, I go back up on the shore, and I grab a hold of him, and I walk over, and I kind of toss him in the lake. Now, hold on, because some of you might get fired up. I didn't just plunk him in the lake. I mean, I held him a little bit over the water on the edge of the lake, and I dropped him in. And he hit the lake swimming, but he swims, and he swims straight out away from the shore, and I kind of start to call him, and he swims this big arc back around further down the shore and comes back onto the shore, swims right back on the shore. And instead of coming back over to where we're at, he starts heading up this hill. Now, right behind where we're swimming, there is this huge hill covered with rocks. I mean, and not like gravel, but like big boulders, And this thing goes straight up. It's not really like a cliff, but it's more than a hill. It's steep. Well, this dog Spike starts tearing up that hill because he's angry, I guess, because I threw him in the lake. So he starts tearing up the thing. I'm in a panic now because we love this little dog. And, at the top of this big giant hill of boulders, it's forest. And I'm like, if he gets to the top there, I'm in trouble. So I start immediately tearing up this thing, and I'm yelling to him, Spike, Spike, and I'm ripping up this hill as fast as I can go. Now, mind you, I don't have any shoes on. All I got is a swimsuit on. I don't have any shirt on. I'm tearing up this hill, and he keeps hopping from boulder to boulder, going higher and higher, and I'm yelling to him all the while. I'm like, Spike, Spike. And right about then, these kids back in the lake, they see what's going on. They see me chase the dog and hear me yelling at him, and they start mocking me. They're like, Spike, Spike, and I'm like looking back at these kids, and they're mocking me. I'm looking up at the dog, and he just keeps going, won't listen to me a bit. So it's quite a fun time I'm having, you can imagine, tearing up this rock hill. So anyway, I see the dog go up to the very top, and at some point I can't see him anymore. He goes over the top of the thing, and now I'm really panicked because I know, like I said, there's just trees and forest past the top of this hill. So I'm going even faster. I'm doubling my efforts to go up this thing. I'm still yelling his name. Kids are still mocking me or whatever. And when I get to the top of this hill, I look, and that's exactly what I see, just trees in every direction. And I look, and I don't see him. And I don't see the dog. And I'm looking around frantically searching, and then way back in there, I see a little movement. I realize it's Spike. So now I'm tearing through this forest, jumping over little fallen trees and branches and different stuff. And listen, I'm not Tarzan in the jungle. I mean, I've got wimpy little city feet. So, I mean, all these branches and stuff tearing through this forest is tearing into my legs, and I'm scratching myself up, and I'm hurting myself. But I'm panicked because I'm thinking this dog, I'm going to lose this dog, and he's not the kind of dog that's going to, brave the wild, and I'm going to get him back or something. He's like a little thing that's going to be nothing more than a snack to some wild animal while they're watching Netflix or whatever, right? So I'm like tearing through the forest and I'm yelling at him, Spike, Spike, and he's not even looking back at me. He isn't even acknowledging that I'm behind him. So at some point, luckily, as I get quite a ways into the forest, I see him and he stops. And he just stops dead in his tracks. And he looks and his ears are perked up. And I don't know if he's listening to something or what's going on, but he stops and he just stands there. Well, I'm making ground on him now. I'm moving faster and faster. And I start to get where I'm getting pretty close to him. So now I'm calling him more calm. I'm like, Spike, Spike, come on, Spike, come on. And as I get closer to him, I finally get close enough. And I don't know what his little doggy brain was thinking. I mean, maybe at some point either he heard something that was scary to him, or else he just realized, what is he doing? He doesn't know anything about woods or, being out in the forest, and he stopped. But at any rate, I come over there and I snatch him up, and the second I get him in my hands, I'm like yelling at him. I go from going, Spike, Spike, to, rah, 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 and I'm yelling. Because he scared the heck out of me. I thought I'd lost him. Plus, now I'm looking at my feet and I realized I'm cut. I'm bleeding at places. I mean, this is not just, I'm not just scratched up. I'm bleeding at places. So anyway, I turn back around and I start headed back the way I came. And I'm not going to tell you I got lost in the forest or some crazy thing. I didn't. I knew which was kind of a beeline I had come. So I just headed back the same direction for the most part, being a little more careful now to pick my trail a little better than when I was tearing through the first time. And I get back to the top of this hill. And now what was kind of daunting looking up as I was climbing this thing, but I was in a panic. Now I'm looking down at it. And I mean, I'm thinking, can I climb back down this thing? My feet are all beat up. And I'm thinking, it's either that or I walk clear out of the forest, come back around the road, which is a gravel road, and walk all the way down this gravel road to get, back to where the car's parked. So I finally just decide climbing down the rocks is best. And now I'm not only that, but I'm climbing with one hand because I got Spike tucked up under my left armpit. So somehow or another, I managed to get all the way back down. And, I've ruined the day. I mean, I should have never thrown Spike in the lake like that. I brought this all on myself. Now, the dog's still mad at me. My wife's mad at me. The afternoon's ruined, right? So we pack everything up, grab our cooler, drag it back over there. I got Spike on the leash. We get back in the car. We drive back to the campsite. Afternoon ruined, thanks, Jeff, right? So we're back there, and I think we made something to eat, and I was pretty beat. And by the time I got back there, I think I kind of flopped down in my lawn chair, around the campsite. When you're camping, you got great comfortable furniture. And I sit there for a while, and at some point, I think we made up some dinner and got done eating that, and things had kind of simmered down quite a bit. And my wife was like, well, maybe we ought to walk down this trail over here to the lake and, kind of watch the sun go down as it gets later or evening's coming on. And I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty good, So we grabbed the dog, put him on the leash this time, for goodness sakes, right? And head down this path to the lake. And I mean, it's beautiful. I don't know if you've watched a sunset over a lake. If you haven't, you should. But, I mean, it's, like little diamonds sparkling off the lake. The sun's going down. It's just a beautiful scene, And as we stand there and, we're in love again. My wife's forgiven me for all the shenanigans this afternoon. And I'm standing there and I've got my sweetie's hand in my left hand. And I'm holding on to the leash with my right hand. All of a sudden, I feel this warm feeling. And I realize that Spike is urinating in my shoe. And I kid you not, it was like his last revenge or something. And I mean, I didn't just stand there. I jumped up, and my wife's like, what happened, and I'm like, Spike peed down my leg, I look down and he's got my whole sock is soaked with urine and my shoe is filled with pee. Because by the time I even realized it happened, it was way, way too late. So it was like Spike's final revenge was peeing in my shoe and filling that up, so that was like, what a great way to end the day, you can imagine. So anyway, that's my story of camping out at the lake with the wife and the dog. I hope you liked that. And if you did, give me a like. And, I got more stories where that came from. So God bless you. Thanks for spending your time with me. And I'll be talking to you soon.
That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and hey, tell a friend.